Aruba Port Authority is improving its infrastructure to accommodate bigger cruise ships. Plus, in today's lifestyle segment, we'll look at the benefits of getting Botox. And details on the possible investors and bidders for the Radisson property revealed. 15 on 15 starts right now. Thank you for joining us. I'm Yentl Lieuw. Aruba will soon be able to welcome bigger cruise ships. Aruba Port Authority is currently working on accommodating mega-sized cruise ships.
We are looking forward to welcoming larger ships in 2016, and as such we held several meetings with Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, and in hopes that we will be ready when the Freedom begins home porting in San Juan, so that they are able to come to Aruba as well.
Soon, Aruba will be able to do business with the largest cruise ships on sea, such as Allure and Oasis of the Seas, which are both Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. On Wednesday night's show, we will go into further details. And moving forward in other local news, a new CEO for Aruba Airport Authority was officially announced by the government on Monday afternoon. Take a look. Jim Fazio from New York's JFK Airport is now on the island, ready to start his new reign at Reina Beatrix Airport. Jim was in charge of daily operations and strategic planning at JFK's Terminal 4. Jim Fazio's new role will be effective as of September 1st, 2014, and has signed on for a 5-year contract. During the introduction of Jim, another announcement was made. In about 3 months, the airport will have more people installed to the board of directors. 4 new members from the airport will join the board of directors. During the new CEO's 5 years here in Aruba, part of his responsibilities entailed training another local CEO, so that individual can take over once Mr. Fazio departs. Starting the 1st of December, instead of only 1 director, there will be 4 directors, meaning Jim will be the director together with a board of 3 other local members of the airport. During Jim Fazio's reign as the director of Aruba Airport Authority, within the next 5 years, an expected $165 million investment will be made on various projects. And now parents as well as students are still easing into the routine of a new school year. I was able to speak with a teacher of 5 years who is also a mother of 3 for her personal advice to parents when it comes to optimal ways in preparing the child on a daily basis for school and for home. During the school year, it is important for the students to get accustomed to a certain routine. It helps them excel in class.
I know a lot of parents work nowadays. I myself am a working parent too, and it doesn't always go as planned, but I think a routine is very important to try to create so that the kids know what to expect and when to expect it. Being a little flexible at your routine, you know, to not put the stress in the family is also important, knowing when, you know, just leave it, but a routine doesn't have to be, has to be as many days as possible.
It is, however, easier said than done for working parents especially. It will require a working effort to make a routine stick.
A routine will not work or is not a routine if it's once a week. So getting the kids early in bed so they get enough rest will make the mornings a lot easier on yourself if your kid had a good rest. Your child will be able to concentrate better in class, and that will make the learning part also, the kids will benefit much more of that.
Also, Ms. Rose says read to your kids, no matter what the age is. This gives you some quality time together and a great way to get into a conversation after reading about their day and what their emotions are.
I cannot say enough times I've been telling this, read to your kids, and even if they can read, still cuddle them up at night and share a story together, talk about how the day went. It's important for you to know, you know, what's going on in your child's head. What are the emotions? What are the experience? Especially after a new school, after a new day, there's a lot to talk about today and at night.
And on that note, we will be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back from the break. Believe it or not, Botox is more than just a wrinkle drug. There's more benefits to it. Take a look. You probably know Botox as the magic eraser for facial lines and wrinkles. It is becoming increasingly popular to stay youthful with this drug. The magic serum turns 25 this year. But doctors say it isn't for cosmetic effects only. Getting Botox can be helpful for face spasms, eye spasms, or even neck spasms. Botox even helps with chronic migraines. Botox is toxic to the body in large doses, but in small doses, the drug paralyzes the tiny muscles in the face, neck, and head that cause spasms, headaches, and even wrinkles, of course. For all the single ladies out there, it is time to put down your phone and actually meet up with the guy that you are interested in if you are trying to figure out whether or not he is into you. Men can be hard to read, especially in the beginning when you are trying it out. Here is one strange sign that may help you figure it out. Men tend to walk slower with you when they're into you. A study showed whenever a man was walking with his female significant other, his speed dropped to match his partner's pace. There was no significant speed change when men walked with a male or female friend, though. Study authors suspect that walking slowly may help boost a couple's intimacy. So this means get off the phone and actually meet up with a guy in person if you are trying to get a handle on his feelings, because sadly there is no text equivalent way to figure this one out. In other lifestyle topics, a baby's first smile, laugh, crawl, or even walk are all considered baby milestones. New parents are constantly watching their newborns like a hawk to make sure they don't miss out on any of these. But experts are saying, don't rush these things. Let it happen naturally. When it comes to watching certain baby developmental milestones, the timetable for these could take on a life of its own. The milestones occurring in babies vary. Doctors advise to first-time parents to never compare your infant to your neighbors or of your nieces or nephews. Every baby will come around to their own milestone at their own special pace. Some babies may hit these marks later, and it is okay. If they were born prematurely, they may have these milestones maybe 2 months later, but gradually they will catch up. At 4 months, typically you will see a baby laugh. At 1 year old, some babies will walk, but others won't do this until they are 15 to 18 months of age. If parents see any major delays in motor skills or speech development, then an evaluation by the doctor may be needed. Otherwise, don't rush those milestones. Enjoy the baby. And we will be right back. Take a look to see what is coming up next. The public bid for the Radisson closed on August 6th. The general manager of the property disclosed during a press conference the types of investors who bid that could actually potentially be the new developers of the Radisson property. Different investors bid on the Radisson property. The good news is the bidders were primarily long-term investors who would plan on developing the property here.
I can tell you that we had more than 10 different companies come through. Some were branded companies. Some were all-inclusive companies, but the vast majority were institutional investors. People that buy buildings, invest in those buildings with management companies, either for the short term or for the long term. In the case of the investors that have been through here, the vast majority were long-term investors. In other words, business partners that a company like Carlson Residor could work with on a management contract, invest in this property, make it spectacular, and move ahead with a great partner with deep pockets, lots of money to spend.
The GM of the property gives his personal opinion as well perspective regarding the bidders and the possible new partner Carlson Residor will work with.
What I can tell you is there's been a number of very strong bids through that process. Those strong bids have primarily come from institutional investors. And although I cannot guarantee anything, I can say that I feel very strongly that we will come out the back end of this still as the Radisson in Aruba, working on a management contract with the new owner here on the property. I don't feel fear at this point that there's going to be this thunderclap and everything's suddenly going to change.
Mark Littleton says the staff employed at the Radisson should be at ease. There aren't any drastic changes set in stone. Internal restructuring, though, is a given once the new developer takes over.
Obviously, with any sale process, with any change there would come a restructuring. Restructuring is normal. Restructuring doesn't mean mass dismissals. Restructuring means we need to make changes within our business to modernize our business, to ensure that our business grows into the future, and to take heedance of outside factors.
The general manager of the Radisson stresses that it still looks very positive to remain working for the property. He promises to keep his team as informed as possible. That is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back here on Wednesday night with a brand new edition of 15 on 15 with all the latest in lifestyle topics and with all the latest on the island. So we'll see you then.